Well, welcome everyone to week 4 of Formula G. My name is Zotomo, and I'm joined as always by Calamity. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Today we are in Brazil, and we have 5 racers to show you today on their playthrough and see how they all did. Brazil, Calamity, not everyone's favorite to say the least.
Yeah, I think personally think it's quite a fun map to play. Well, fun as long as you're not literally in the middle of nowhere with no signs around. But as long as you've
Mhm.
got some sort of signage, it can be quite enjoyable as long as you know what that signage is telling you. So definitely Brazil, one of those countries where if you learn about area codes, learn about state abbreviations and everything like that, that gets a lot more fun. Kind of like Russia as well, in a sense, if you know Cyrillic and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely dependent on how good you are in the country.
Yeah, this might be the first country we're in for Formula G where your knowledge really comes into play. A lot of the other places, if you can find some information, you can find it on the map, or you don't. You just need general geoguesser skill,
Mm.
perhaps. But Brazil might. We do have Russia later on, but we have Brazil now, and that really will test your country-specific knowledge of how you get around and find information in Brazil.
There were
So.
some slight bits of things like that in France as well as Australia, but nothing quite coming close to that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, with that, let's jump right in to round number 1 with you, Calamity.
Mm.
So, we do start off on a major road.
Yep.
When you did see SUL
Yep.
right off the bat,
Do you know what that means?
Sul something, but that's
It means south.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, those
I
are
should have
the
known it. I should have remembered for a second. All the states are 2
yeah.
letters, so it's 3, and I'm like,
Mm.
that shouldn't be anything. But
Yeah, those are the kilometer markers that are pretty much useless for you. But
But that
yeah.
does usually mean you're on a national road, though, right? Because if it's a state road, it will have the state abbreviation. Or am I
Um,
wrong in that?
Not necess. Well, probably.
Well, we are
I
on,
mean,
as we can see on your
yeah,
screen, we are on a national road. So at least I'm not wrong now. And this one
yeah.
also thankfully has the state MS
Mm.
on it as well.
I wouldn't with 100% certainty say that you're right, but
Mm.
you certainly weren't wrong in this case.
It looks like a city. Is that a city name or just an?
Didn't that just say ritorno for
Yeah,
turn around?
yeah.
But yeah, the movement in this round, I mean, at the point we're at right now, it's not that bad anymore. But at the start, it
Mm.
was kind of a bit weird.
Yeah, but I mean, we have the road, we have the state, so not much else we have to worry about. We're kind of looking for hopefully some uh, city names or
Yeah,
something to help you, but
even if I wouldn't find them, I've still got roughly the right area. So, but still, Mato Grosso do Sul is big enough, and the road goes through the whole state. So you
mhm.
kind of do want to get more information.
Yeah, that's always the problem for me in Brazil is that I've got the state and I've got the road, but the road is like hundreds of kilometers long.
Mm.
Like where am I on this road? And sometimes you get village names and you can't find them on the map in a couple of minutes, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, hedge your bet, either go central or gamble and go north and south. So
I'm one of those people that always likes to gamble. I'd rather go
okay,
north and
well,
south.
let's see if you can do that. Well, you got a top level domain there, so if you didn't already know, Calamity, we're in Brazil,
Yes. Very helpful there.
and a nice flag. So
Oh, that's helpful.
yeah, there you go. That looks like a polis, which should be a city name, and sure enough, you've got it.
Mm.
We're somewhere in that area,
Yeah, somewhere south of it, presumably.
presumably. Yeah, you headed north to find it, so
Mm.
the sign, anyways. So if
Yeah, and
that's any indication.
the signs on the side that you drive towards the north. So it wouldn't make much sense to put a sign there if the place is behind you.
Yeah. But, I mean, it could be on both sides of the road, and maybe not. So.
I don't think it is.
And of course, there's a truck right in front of the sign. I love when that happens.
Yep.
Like, oh, there's a nice sign, and the truck is in front of it the whole time.
It would be a nice sign if you could read it.
Yeah. Still got about a minute left. Remember that if the drivers can get a perfect score, they can get bonus points for the fastest time.
Yep.
Which will be very hard to do in Brazil. I don't think we'll be seeing many 5Ks in this country, just given the nature of it.
I think back in the Reddit League throughout all 4 divisions, I was the only one who got a perfect score, but not even in my division, but in Division 4. But this sign here is very helpful. It says the limit, so the border between 2 municipalities, in this case Rio Verde and São Gabriel do Oeste. And I remembered that our road at the start is kind of more towards west-east, which makes this pretty easy to find.
There we go. There's some point of interest, maybe able to use. Oh, that looks like a gas station indeed, right there to your north slightly. So
it's a side road here.
And sure enough, so there is a 5K, very nice, Calamity. But you did take quite a bit of time into that one. But going in the future rounds, not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry.
No, go on.
No, I was going to move on to the next thing. So if you got a comment.
Yeah, okay. I was just going to say there were only, I think, with me, 5 people who got a perfect score in that round. So time isn't looking to matter too much.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, we have 4 other racers. We have M. the Baseman, Mr. Blue, Closed 24/7, and M. Wickholm, as well as you in today's video. So how did the other people we are going to take a look at did in round 1?
Yeah, Mr. Blue was one of the people who got a perfect score alongside M. the Baseman. So that's looking relatively good there. Closed lost 1 point, just slightly not quite there in the pinpoint. He also ran out of time. He used all of his 5 minutes, so that's maybe one of the reasons why. And M. Wickholm got 3,533 points on the right road, but just not quite in the right place.
Yeah, very tough indeed. Well, let's take a look at our next racer, which is M. Wickholm, as we get into round number 2. So a bit of a more urban location this time, which can be both good and bad in Brazil.
It depends a bit. If you're in some of the bigger cities, it can be quite nice because they usually have their own area code. So the issue is not really find out which city you're in, but some of the sort of semi-big cities, as I would call them, are very difficult to figure out sometimes because they don't really like putting their names anywhere. And the area code just narrows it down a bit, but doesn't really help you that much either.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Just you could find some area codes or maybe some roads, but it's really hard to find in those smaller towns the actual name of the town you're in, because they don't like labeling themselves, which is always fun.
Yeah, so
far a few phone numbers for Ann Wickholm, but no area codes, so I'll be looking to try to find that.
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
There are a few around. He's gonna take a look at his map pretty early on. Minute and a half in, or around that.
He seems to be looking at the state of Goiás, so maybe he did find an area code and you missed it.
Yeah, maybe I was looking at the wrong part of the screen when he saw something, but
yeah. I mean, so did I.
Usually we catch what they miss, but maybe this time was the other way around. That, or he's just familiar. Something looks familiar to him. A name on something, or
could be.
I mean, there is plenty of geography, plant life, and whatnot to go off of. So.
Usually there's a lot of things that feel familiar when I'm playing Brazil, but most of them are just my imagination.
Yeah. I think when I played this round, I was like, oh, I think I know some of these names, and they might be in this area, and then I was completely wrong.
Yep.
So, because it's Portuguese, and what I think might sound like or look like a town name that I'm familiar with is not in fact a town name. It's just a
Yep. Just a random
shop
word.
name or something. Yeah, yeah. He is seeming pretty confident to know where to look. I mean, given the environment, I don't think he's wrong. I would put us in that kind of new. I would describe it as new farmland, a new expansion land in Brazil. That area around Brasilia, Goiás and Mato Grosso or something. So
Yeah, he's. I mean, you can sort of see in his movement that he's not the most experienced player. He's been kind of slowly walking in circles a bit.
yeah,
But
almost like a spiral, working his way further and further out. But yeah, in towns, it's better to get to the edge and try to get out and see if you can find rodent numbers.
Oh, that's an interesting name, Ruby Auto. In this case, sort of a combination of just a car, probably something like a mechanic, and the name of the town. I'm not sure if he's gonna find something else that tells him the name of the town. Gonna have to see.
This very old sign, which then blurs out when he gets close enough to actually read it, which is always lovely.
Yeah, I
there we
think
go.
the middle part says center or something, and
Yeah.
the upper part is just for Estadio Municipal. Is that a stadium or is that just like the municipal
Stadio
building?
I think it's Municipal Stadium.
That's what I would have assumed as well, but
I'm not really sure.
yeah.
And again, still hasn't taken. Oh, there we go. Finally, 62.
Yeah. Now we've seen
So
it
he
as
is
well.
actually in the. Yeah, he is actually in the right area, roughly. But he'll probably still. Oh, there we go. On the edge of town. See if he can get a road. He's got 30 seconds left. Not a lot of time to find anything. That doesn't look like it's going to help.
Yeah, I was thinking, I saw that sign. I definitely saw that sign, and I didn't see the town name on there. Interesting. He's got 10 seconds left.
Searching. Should be a little. Actually, he's probably close. Yeah, not bad. 4974 for him there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was just a complete lucky click or if he realized at the
Yeah.
last second that that's the sort of the name he saw. But still, like with 2 seconds less, he would have had like 2,000 points less.
Yeah, I was about to say, and he's quite a ways off and he needs to move. And then the minute I opened my mouth, he just like clicked and his timer ran out. So I was like, oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, take it where you can get it there, and we're home. But let us know, yeah, what was that all about? But yeah, it worked out either way. Very nice for him. Yeah. How about the others in round 2, Calamity?
Yeah, quite a lot of struggles there. I personally did, as I've said, I didn't find a city name anywhere. Knew we were somewhere in Goiás, but I was how far? 300 kilometers away, so getting just under 3,000 points. Mr. Blue a bit over 3,000 points. M the Basement a bit over 4,000, and Closed also similar to M the Basement, also around 4,200 points.
So after round 2, we've got nobody looking to get those bonus points. So now speed becomes a little less of an issue and just trying to get as many points as you possibly can and using that time to your advantage for sure.
Yeah, but that was interesting to see because I was wondering how I think he was one of not many people that got close to a perfect score there. Similar to round 1, I think, just like round 5 people who got even close to a perfect score. And I was wondering what it was that you could have seen that got you close to there. But that car shop definitely could have been a hint. Although I don't know if it was in this case for him.
Yeah, it's always tough to tell just watching the video without any commentary from the driver himself. So, okay, well, let's move on to round number 3. with Mr. Blue. And much more Brazilian.
Are
As
you
I would
saying the
say,
other
kind
places aren't Brazilian?
Well, you think of Brazil, you think of like roads in the middle of nowhere and sort of rainforesty. Of course, you do have the sunny beaches, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, but
Yeah.
usually when you get Brazil in GeoGuessr, this is, besides the red dirt part of Brazil, this is the kind of area you're in.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel more familiar with the dry middle of nowhere.
Than the wet middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Which is where we are now.
Yep.
But yeah, so this will be an adventure in just trying to find a sign of any kind. But
he's going the same way that I did and where I found my signs, which is going west. And we're out at the forest. Quite a nice open landscape here.
yeah. Oh, there's a couple signs. Pause to read them. Maybe a local village or something.
Fazenda usually means something like, I think it's either farm or just, I think it means farm, but I can look it up. I know it's not particularly helpful.
Yeah, it didn't look like it would be.
Yeah, it's a plantation.
Yeah. And he will come upon... Oh, there's a bump. Nice to know.
Probably not something you'll find on a map.
Yeah, but again, some signs, but nothing that has a clue as to where he is. No phone number, no road number yet. He just continues to head sort of west-northwest. There we go. That'll give him something.
ITA 300. Not something you're gonna find, but
yeah, it's probably too small of a road. But some river names as well as probably some larger villages.
Yeah, it said this probably Distrito. I always get mixed up with Spanish and Portuguese for that, but Acurui, which is the district.
And there we go. And we have the municipality entrance. So he has at least a small little town he's not too far west of. This, but again, that town might be impossible to find on the map without any state code or road number to look along.
You're definitely going to want to find out the area you're in first, at least, before you go looking for that town/city.
Mr. Blue, by the way, on his channel does do audio commentary as he plays along. So if you're curious at what he's seeing and what he's thinking, head over to his channel and check out the video. There we go, 34 for an area code. That's very, very nice.
Yeah, the 30s all...
34s are east of Brasilia, right?
The 30s in general are scattered around Belo Horizonte. And 34, is sort of south of Brasilia.
Okay, so we're down in that area, which he does seem to know. He zoomed right in on it on the map, looking for that village name now. But I doubt he's going to see it at that zoom level.
Yeah, interestingly, looking at where the actual location is, it's not particularly close to where the 34s are. So that's an interesting area code there.
Yeah, maybe a larger company, their location is just assigned for them.
Yeah, but that's sort of where it might help you. Interestingly, if he's found it.
That's it. Yeah, he's got it.
It might help you if you don't know exactly where each of the area codes is and just know sort of roughly where they are, because otherwise you might just be very tunnel visioned onto the 34 area code and just not look anywhere else and not find it.
Yeah. Now remember, with 30 seconds left, he has found the village he's in, but now he has to figure out his starting location to earn himself a few more points. But he'll be within a couple of kilometers at least, because he'll be looking to a almost directly south-facing road with a big turn to the west.
Yeah.
He didn't turn off of that road. He's just gonna try to follow that one road the whole way.
He'd have to remember that he traveled quite far to get to the city. and
Yeah.
took quite a few turns, so he's definitely still way too close to the city there.
Yeah, but not too far
Yeah.
off. 4,983 points for Mr. Blue on that round, so it keeps him quite competitive, as you can see. We can also see closed score 4,986, just 3 points better than Mr. Blue. But the other racers, Calamity?
Yeah, I got 4,924. I found Akuru on the map as well, but I don't think I went much far into the city, so I didn't figure out that that was actually the city of Akuru. I thought it was the city that was mentioned below that on the white sign we saw at the city entrance, and I couldn't find that anywhere, so I was just slightly off there. Closed 4,986, as you can see there on the screen, just a bit better. M the Baseman 3,196, he was a bit too far to the north. And M Wickholm 74, in sort of the Amazon River area.
So definitely looked at the more wet area of the country,
Yep.
but with he probably didn't see an area code or anything. But I think I was pretty far off on this one too, because I think I went the opposite direction from you guys, because I did not see a village like that. So
Yeah, you were in a similar area to M Wickholm.
yeah, I think we both went the wrong way, just saw lots of wet jungle and said, well, we've got to be maybe somewhere up north. But then it turns out there's little patches of that kind of stuff in the south as well.
Yeah, it's not the worst guess. Maybe just knowing that the area around the Amazon doesn't have that much coverage. So it's sort of a small side road like this probably wouldn't be covered.
Yeah, but then I also always second guess myself, like, well, it looks like a small side road, but in Brazil it could be a national highway. So, you know, it's tricky. But yeah, I'm not the best Brazil player for sure. So our next round, we'll get into round number 4 with closed in this one. And again, a city in the drier part of the country.
Yep. It sort of looks like maybe the outskirts of a city, or just a bigger road going through like a smaller village.
But plenty of signs and an area code 61, which is Brasilia itself.
Yes.
Okay, so we're in that state at least. I doubt this is the capital. At least maybe we're on the far outskirts of it, but
Yeah, I don't know how much area Brasilia itself actually covers, like how far it extends outwards.
I know it's pretty big to the west, but like there's a lake, so it doesn't really go east. So maybe that might affect it as well. That just says school bus.
Yep.
If I remember my Portuguese right, and a couple times of you yelling at me like, "That's just school bus. Stop looking at that."
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, it just says school, not even school bus.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, what does that sign say? He ignored it. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably not important.
We'll never find out. Well, at least he's got the right state, that area code, doing good work for him there. He'll be looking to figure out some cities. It's something small. I don't know if that's going to help him.
Yeah, I can't quite
Educational Miriam something. So move a little bit further to read that. Regional do Sector Aqua something. But I don't know if that's even a city name. See, that's the problem. It's like, well, is that even like, is that just a city or something? I don't know.
I don't think it's a city name.
No.
But there you have it again.
There you go. Same sign. It's just probably a marker or something down the road. That's all he's got. He's gonna head along the road a little bit faster pace here, trying to find sign. Intersections are a good place. Here we go. Here we go. San Antonio GO. He zooms out to realize he's probably in the western part of Brasilia, given these names. And there's that city right there.
Yep.
Both
of them,
there
actually.
he goes.
That's the one down on the bottom of the sign. The other one up at the top of the sign is a bit further south.
So now he's got to figure out... Okay, we're south of that. Probably not on the 70 itself, because you're taking a turn off onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we are just on the outskirts of Brasilia.
Yep.
Way west.
Yeah, roundabouts are usually pretty helpful in Brazil because you've got a few different chances to get signs for every exit.
Yeah, intersections are always very nice. You can hop around and see each direction what's where, and use that to help kind of triangulate your location. Okay, there, and finally got some distance. If he heads west, got a city name 13 kilometers away. So he's probably further south than his location is right now. Got a minute. Plenty of information, so he should be able to... I mean, he's already looking at 4K something, but especially in how tight Formula G has been in the first couple weeks at the top, every point matters. Yep. So definitely want to use it. He has placed himself somewhere in a town far away.
Much closer to the right location.
Yeah. Yeah, that intersection that he went east of does look like it could be where he was before he jumped back. So this isn't a bad move, to say the least. Now I'm looking for some point of interest to use, but Primo Burgers. It's a good name for a store. He'll make his guess. Ooh, 5K, very nice from him. Those signs in the intersection, very, very helpful.
Yep. It's always difficult to look for points of interest in Brazil, especially in sort of rural Brazil, because they can change quite a bit. With generally rural areas around the world, new buildings are built, old companies go bankrupt, and everything changes quite a bit more than in countries like probably the US or Central Europe or anywhere like that. Yeah,
and also there's always a question of accuracy for the point of interest, right? Because the shop is over here, but actually it's not. It's next to this thing, which is way over here, and so
I think
always a little bit worried.
It depends a bit on the place, but probably the buildings are more reliable to sort of pinpoint. Or obviously, if you can, roads.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Good. So how did the other drivers fare in round 4, Calamity?
Yeah, this was... I mean, sort of my downfall started in round 2 anyway, but this just completely ruined my confidence. And that was somewhere in the southwest of Goiás. It made absolutely no sense to go there because I walked the same way as closed. I saw all the same signs. Yeah. Let's just ignore me for now. Mr. Blue, as you can... I know you can't see that right now, but he got a perfect score as well. The Baseman was close. He got 4.945. He went a bit more towards Brasilia. And M. Wickham got 4.384. He went in Brasilia as well, but on the wrong side of the state.
Let's see. Very nice. Well, let's jump into the final round to see how the Baseman did in his final round. Total at 17,360. So he has a chance at breaking 20,000, which for me anyways is a good day in Brazil, but he'll be hoping to do a lot better than that. I believe so. Another urban location, so actually pretty nice seed, all things given. 3 sort of urban locations out of 5.
I personally...
This gives you a chance at phone numbers. So.
Yeah, I personally prefer rural to urban in Brazil.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you saw the location in Rubiataba. I don't think anyone except Mwicom off our drive has even got the city correct.
Yeah, but I mean, we did have state information,
Yes.
which is what he wants. There we go, 55 within a minute. That's not bad. 55 way down south.
Mm.
In the little corner of Brazil, down by Uruguay.
It looks like a big enough city so that you can sort of narrow it down to 3-4 cities around there maybe. And
yeah,
you can, at that point, you can sort of have a look at maybe what the cities around there are called so that you're more aware of what to look for on a sign.
Yeah, good tip for sure. Impamena, I don't think that's the city name. It will cause him to look at the map to double check.
Looks sort of like a company name, maybe, especially next to those big buildings there.
That's a bunch of road numbers. Very good. As well as cities. So he'll be able to use those to help him out. RS 344, BR 472.
Yeah, in that case, definitely first look for the BR roads. State roads can be very
Santa
difficult.
Rosa. This is the part I didn't get. Like, I knew we had to be in a larger city in that state, and I didn't see that sign. So now he's got quite a bit of help. Yeah. 2 minutes to spend on pinpointing. 2.5 minutes, sorry, to spend on pinpointing, which is going to be plenty.
Yeah. I didn't see that sign either. I saw something else that straight up told me you're in Santa Rosa.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw like Santa Rosa, Santo Angelo, and Santa Maria, and I was like, well, it's a Santa something,
Yep.
but I don't know what. It's like a 33% chance of picking the right one, and I didn't pick the right one. But he will, and fast as always, getting an ace in the final round, so I'll be happy with that. Finishing up with a total score of 22,360 for him. Went pretty fast at the end, but he didn't need to. Already missed out on that perfect score, but always working on that timing is something you can do as well. So, how did everybody else finish, Calamity? And if you want to give your own score or make people go look it up.
I mean, I still finished 9th, so it wasn't too bad for you guys to play in general, but it was terrible for myself. Not even necessarily the score, but just how I played it. But yeah, I got 4994 in this round for a total of 20,839 points. Closed, winning the whole round with 4993 and then a total of 24,259. Mr. Blue also getting a perfect score, same as M the Baseman, finishing at a total of 23,761. And Mwicom struggling in this round with 508 points and a total of just over 13,000 points.
Very nice. Yeah, so that was Brazil for you all. Hope you enjoyed it. We always do, bringing it to you. Pretty interesting locations. Good use of area codes in this seed for sure. Knowing those will definitely help you more than we saw more of those, and we saw state codes, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely, if you are ever going to play Brazil, learn those area codes. There's not too many of them. In the sense that you can kind of get a general idea, at least with the bigger numbers, like the first numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The second digits, a little bit more complicated. You can at least learn those first digits to get you in the right state area. So.
Yeah, and with practice, you'll slowly familiarize yourself with more and more of them. Like some of them will just stand out to you. For example, what I know is like 95 is the area around Boa Vista, right in the north. And the state of Maranhão towards the north is split up into 98 and 99. So with time, some of them will just stick with you, even if you don't learn all of them by heart.
Yeah. I think one is also the like largest city / capital of a region or something like that.
For the second digit, yes.
Yeah, for the second digit. So if you see like 2-1 or 7-1, look for it. Just check out the biggest city or around the biggest city in that state or the capital, and that'll give you some good clues as well.
It's in most places, sort of the north is a bit of an exception. because 91 is, I think, the northern part of the state of Para, and there's not really that big of a city in there. Manaus and Macapa, probably the bigger ones in that state, aren't in that area code. But for most of them, it's true.
Yeah. Well, very nice. Well, thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss any more of these. We're only in week 4. We've got quite a few more weeks to go. And if you want to find out how every racer did in this week, as well as the standings for both the driver and the constructor cups, you can head over to our other video, the Formula G show, and we cover all of that there.
Bye.